What is going on, folks and Folklaramas? Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are all out there doing well, doing good. Hope everything is going your way. Do me a favor. I know, subscribe and stand, says Sue's Pride. Appreciate that, sis. You guys can hear me, right? You should be able to hear me. I know every time I leave and come back, strange things seem to happen, whatever like that. So anyway, I'm just checking just to make sure before I start rambling off. And people are like, we can't hear you. Nothing's coming out, no volume, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just checking to make sure that you guys can all hear me, okay? Sound good? Cool beans. Thanks, Sue. Appreciate that prompt response. All right. So anyway, with that being said, folks, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. And like I said already, appreciate you guys all being in here. If you are someone that's been following my channel for a while, you can actually let somebody else know that's in your circle of friends. Let them know that I'm live right now. Say, hey, the guy that I was telling you about, he's live right now, et cetera, et cetera. That way they can jump in on here because we know that YouTube is not letting people know that I am doing this right now. All right. So anyway, with that being said, let me just say hello to all of you again. Hope you guys are all doing well. And I'm going to jump right into this topic right here. So you guys kind of mentioned to me a little bit ago about what happened. You know, I was, like I said, I was on my little vacation and everything like that. And this story came out about this Duke University volleyball player supposedly has some racial slurs thrown at her, right? So, of course, I had people from a certain side who came at me and automatically said, Ty, you know, y'all know how they do. Oh, you got to get this story, man. They was yelling that racial stuff to this girl to the point to where she couldn't even play. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? Y'all know me. I'm not going to take things, just run with it. I want to hear it. And I want to see it. So let me go ahead and read this off to you guys as I switched over this camera view right here. South Carolina lawmakers seek answers from Gamecocks after women's basketball series with BYU canceled. The letter comes after a Duke women's volleyball player said BYU fans hurled racial slurs at her, but officials said the claim has lacked evidence so far. Instantly, I can guarantee y'all instantly, you're going to have people that's going to say the reason why there is no evidence is because look who's the ones that investigated it. The police investigated it, and you know what they are. The police, they are the white supremacists. They are the ones that, you know, they are the white supremacists. And that's why, you know, of course they didn't find no evidence. Okay, anyway, let's go on beyond that. I'm just letting y'all know, I already know where some of y'all going to go with this. So I'm already calling you on your nonsense and your bullcrap that you're going to try to push. Why do I look so dark on this angle right here? Give me some time here, y'all. I'm about to try to see if I can get y'all some different lighting here. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Let's see from this view right here. Splat out, ba-bam, a little better. I think it's a little better. All right, anyway, like I was saying, this is South Carolina Athletics Director Ray Tanner and the women's basketball coach Dawn Staley faced questions from South Carolina lawmakers on Wednesday. The group of lawmakers known as the South Carolina Freedom Caucus sought clarification from the school's decision to cancel a 2-game series against BYU women's basketball team following accusations. So my bad. Following accusations from a Duke's women's volleyball player. So I did have it right. It was a volleyball player, but these basketball coaches are not going because of what supposedly happened to this volleyball player. Okay. They say they're not going following accusations from the Duke's women's volleyball player that racial slurs were hurled her way during a match against the Cougars. BYU officials later said they had not found any evidence of the incident. The letter, which was co-signed by 14 lawmakers, including Rep. Adam Morgan, Republican in Greenville, and Rep. R.J. May, Republican Lexington, called on the university to answer a series of questions pertaining to the alleged Duke-BYU incident. Given the totality of the circumstances, it seems the University of South Carolina rushed to appease the loudest voices of the far left by canceling BYU both literally and figuratively. Without respect for the truth, if our citizens are to have faith in our public institutions, then they must not kowtow the counterfeit outrage. Doing so only hurts and weakens those who have been truly harmed by bigotry and discrimination, the letter said. It is our opinion that the university acted arbitrarily and without consideration or regard for the facts and circumstances. This begs many questions, chief among them, why did the University of South Carolina cancel the series against BYU when no supporting evidence existed to warrant such action? Will the University of South Carolina reschedule with BYU and issue a public apology if the allegations continue to be shown as false? Is it now the policy of the university to forego or more concerning, ignore the fact that finding missions into allegations of wrongdoing? Will the university be canceling? Will the university be canceling all sporting events whenever any fan university against which the Gamecocks have upcoming game is accused of acting inappropriately? Is the University of South Carolina now taking responsibility for all of its fans, regardless of any relationship with the university? What is the policy of the University of South Carolina for canceling games of which allegations of wrongdoing by a future opposing school's fans are made? And finally, will the University of South Carolina decline any games with Duke University, given the verifiable racially insensitive tweets by a member of Duke's fan base, Mrs. Pamplin? The letter also sought any records related to the match and incident. The school did not immediately respond to Fox for a comment. The Gamecocks women's basketball games were set to be played later this year and next year. This year's BYU game was set to be the home opener for the defending women's basketball national champs. As head coach, my job is to do what is best for the players and staff, Staley said in a statement. The incident at BYU has led me to reevaluate our home, and I don't feel that this is the right time for us to engage in this series. Duke's Rachel Robinson claimed that a fan subjected her and her black teammates to racial slurs throughout the entirety of the match against BYU. The allegations has since come under scrutiny. BYU officials have said they were still investigating the incident, and BYU police Lieutenant Gerald Basendorfer said last week in an initial investigation of the footage from the crowd did not appear to show the person who was banned shouting anything while Richardson was serving. Duke supported Richardson through the ordeal and expressed in a statement that the university was against any form of racism, bigotry, or hatred. Now, during the August 26th match, police say that Duke officials advised BYU officer on duty of racial comments coming from BYU student section directed toward Rachel Richardson and other Duke University players. Following the match, Duke officials reportedly pointed out a fan who was escorted off BYU property and later received an indefinite ban from BYU athletics. In a police report filed by Officer Richardson, let me slow down a little bit and jump into this real quick. I gotta do this. If they showed video, because I looked into this, they said they showed video, they actually tried to show audio. And in doing so, they did not see any wrongdoing. They said he was not shouting at her while she was serving or anything like that. And in case y'all didn't notice, there's also times where they can have things where they're mic'd up, right? Go research this stuff yourself. Don't believe me. They found no evidence or nothing was like that was remotely closely even said to her or her fellow teammates at all, right? Nothing like that was said to them. I don't know who the individual was, which I would assume is going to be white. But if this person was falsely accused of something, right, had judgment placed on them by being indefinitely suspended from any of these games, and it turns out that the volleyball player was wrong, what makes this story different than Emmett Till, except for he didn't get beat to death or anything like that, right? What makes it any different? What makes him any different? He was falsely accused, right? And evidence proved that there was no wrongdoing, right? But yet he faced judgment of being indefinitely suspended from any of those athletic games like that. Now, when the evidence came out that he did not do such things at all, why aren't the volleyball players them going to be subjected to any type of punishment for lying, falsifying a police report, anything like that, lying to police officers? Are they going to be subjected to anything like that? Are they going to be subjected to anything? Now, I told you I went to school on a scholarship, right? I didn't read everything in the contract, but I'm sure there's things out there saying that we have to conduct ourselves in order to keep that scholarship going. Heck, when I was in there, especially when I was going pro, we couldn't even drink soda. When you were a paid professional, there are certain things they tell us that we cannot eat, drink, and we have to sustain from. Now, what I'm saying that for is in college, I know that as an athlete, they call you a student athlete, there were certain things that we could not do at all. I mean, our coaches were like, y'all better not be found at a party. You guys better not be found caught up in any. All you need to do is do your goddamn on work, go home, study, come to practice. That's it. That's your job. That's what they told us, right? Now, also within that We actually had a thing to where we had to actually have a certain standard of behavior that we had to conduct ourselves while we were on a scholarship representing that particular team, right? So what I'm saying that for, as a student athlete, if her, which they're pointing out, if her or any of her friends jumped on this whole bandwagon, falsifying a fake report to police officers like somebody was yelling racial slurs at them, then they should be punished for that. Now, I'm going to raise y'all another one. Do you know that as a competing athlete, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, and I'm not just trying to say this. I'm not saying this because these are female, okay? What I'm getting ready to say, I'm not saying this because they are female. But what I am going to say is this. How soft have people become? How soft have people become? Do y'all have any idea how often we would go to basketball, like me being a basketball player in track? Do you have any idea the stuff that you're called as an athlete? They will say and do anything to throw you off your game. No, I'm not justifying this at all because it all came out to be false, as we all know. It turned out to be false. But what I'm saying to you, do you know the type of things other athletes would say to each other to take each other out? They would talk about your mama. They would talk about boning your mama. They would talk about sticking a ding-a-ling in your mama's ear. They will say all kind of crazy stuff to you while you're playing basketball or while you're on a track getting ready to run or something like that. They will say all these things to throw you off your game. But as a freaking gun-ho competitive athlete, dude, I'm like, bring it. Say what you want to say. I'm getting ready to straight flame you on this court. Or I'm getting ready to straight, man, dude. Matter of fact, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you keep on talking your stuff, right? I'm telling you, I'm competitive. I'm telling you, this is what I did. When they would talk trash to me, I either just say, okay, when I get ready to go jump, then let's see what you have to say then. They would sit up there and say, man, look at this dude, right? This the dude that's jumping. This the freshman right here that's jumping. Look at this dude legs, man. This dude ain't got no definition to his legs. This dude got girl legs. I'm okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll sit there and, all right. You a little skinny little mother, blah, 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 blah. They would say all kind of stuff to me. And I just sit there and I smile because I know what they're trying to do. You're trying to get in my head. It's not going to work. All I'm going to do is let my ability speak for itself. I will get out there, run down the runway, back up, hit that sand, and look at that person that was just talking trash, all of them. I say, look at here. I'm only jumping one time today. Y'all got to jump. You got to jump in the initial one. You got to jump in the semifinals, and then you have to jump in the finals. I'm jumping one time today because neither one of y'all going to jump past what I just did right there. Talk your stuff now. Shut up while I go over here and sit in the bleachers and rest. That's what I'm saying. Now, when I did that, I told you as athletes that people take things personally, but I would talk trash right back because on that track and field, when it came to triple jump, I'm like, dude, the numbers speak for themselves. These dudes already knew coming in that I was going to smash them, but they would say anything to throw me off my game. It was not going to work. So imagine that. Imagine having to go to a competition, and I'm just telling you, I'm just being real. You can look it up yourself. Imagine going to a competition where you're about to compete against me. You see that your best jump that you can jump is 43 feet, but then you got somebody that's a freshman jumping 45 feet. I mean, consistently, I'm as a freshman consistently jumping 45, 46 feet as a freshman, right? You got these juniors and seniors up there that's not jumping 45 feet at all, but they'll sit up there and talk trash, say all this stuff. I did not care because all I would say, hey, Coach Harback, let me see that list. Okay. Oh, man, I'm beating everybody by 2 feet. I'm not worried about this. But when we get out there, they'll try to talk about you, call you name. Oh, yeah, you from Decatur, huh? Oh, we know about Decatur. Y'all N-words, y'all. It's not going to work, dude, because once I get out there and jump, it's a wrap. What I'm saying all that for, and I'm sorry that I blabbered on about that. My point in saying all that is that people will say anything to throw you off the game, but as real freaking competitive athletes, I love that. I fueled off of that. That just gave me more fuel. That's all it did. It just made me angry. It made me mad. It made me jump some of my best jumps because people talk trash to me, right? Now, have we been called the N-word or anything like that? I would say possibly we weren't called the N-words, but we definitely were called, like, what's the word these guys were using? Like in, I want to say this was maybe Arthur, Illinois. We played against the Amish. People were saying some things like, oh, so they let y'all escape, huh? Oh, you guys escaped again, huh? But we was like, okay, it's not going to work. We know what y'all trying to do. It's not going to work. But what I'm saying that for is that these people have become so soft in sports. It's sad. I mean, to me, it's so when you see these dominant athletes just out there, they rough. I'm saying they aggressive. You know, that testosterone out there. But then you see, we can't even go jogging. Or you see people like Dwayne Wade. Oh, my God, Dwayne Wade. Oh, you just like, come on, man. They didn't got too soft. Anyway, let me get back to this story right here with this lying athlete, right? Yes, you heard me, a lying athlete. It says in the police report filed by Officer Richard Larson, he stated he was informed about the comments made during the set match at the start and the fourth set of Larson said he moved to stand between Duke players and BYU student section. Though he did not hear any racial slurs, Larson later confirmed this with the staff from BYU Athletics. While standing near the BYUI student section amid the third set, Larson said that he was questioned by a BYU fan, the same person who was eventually banned from the college's athletic events, as to why the officer was there and if there was an issue. Larson reports that he told the fan that he was there listening for inappropriate comments towards Duke players, and the fan told him that he hasn't heard any inappropriate comments. He said he told the players that they shouldn't hit the ball into the net, but that was the only comment he made to the Duke players. Larson went on to add that the fan, who is reportedly a student of another university, seemed more interested in talking to him than cheering for BYU. Larson also stated that the student appeared to have special needs. Now, don't even matter. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they got video. If the police officer is saying this student seemed like he was more interested in talking to me than listening to the game, and then people up there saying he was yelling racial slurs at them during the whole entire match, but then yet he was sitting there talking to this officer, and the officer's like, dude, you seem like you're more interested in asking me questions versus watching the volleyball game. And then video confirm it. That's the truth. People hate. I know right now this is like a blow because people hate when you find out the truth and you expose people for their lies. They hate when it happens, especially now in today's world, if they're black and they're doing it. If you're wrong, plain and simple. I do not care if this girl comes from a back. I don't care if things happen in her past that made her just so scared or anything like that. You knew what you were doing when you were falsifying this. I don't know if y'all got y'all butts kicked that day in volleyball. I don't know if you were having a bad game and you couldn't even serve right. I do not know. But to actually sit there and take something like this and blame somebody else for how terrible that you might have been playing today, I'm just saying she might have been playing terrible today, is completely wrong. Falsifying a police report and lying on somebody getting this boy kicked out of the game is completely wrong, right? Yes, it is. So anyway, in his report, Larson went on to note that after the match had finished, Duke players and coaches were still upset with what happened during the game and claimed that the alleged racial comments targeting Duke players continued throughout the fourth set and that Larson did nothing to address them. Larson reportedly told the athletic staff that he never heard any racial comment being made throughout the match. As reported by ABC, following the incident, Lisa Pamplin of Fort Worth, Texas, originally tweeted about the incident saying Rachel Richardson, her goddaughter, was called the N-word every time she served. She said she was threatened by a white male that told her to watch her back going to the bus. Pamplin tweeted, adding that a police officer had to be put by the bench. You allowed this racist behavior to continue without intervening. Apologizing to her parents after the fact is not enough. She will soon be sharing her story. Larson later reviewed footage of the game with one of the BYU coaches, but still could not find any evidence of racial discrimination stemming from the BYU student section. Larson noted that the fan in question was either not present while Richardson served or was on his phone and not paying any attention to the game when Duke players were serving. Ladies and gentlemen that's watching this right now, wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome if we all were able to see that video? I mean, transparency, right? It would be so awesome if we were able to see that video. But you know what? It's not going to matter because people still going to sit there and say, yeah, but you can't say that racism is still not a problem. Is that what you're saying, Ty? Don't try to twist this stuff and swirl it around. Don't try to sit there and throw your little swirl in there, throw a wrench in there. Plain and simple, if this came out to be wrong, if we able to see this on video, it is flat out wrong, and that girl should have some sort of punishment to come to her for falsifying this. Her and any other players and any other coaches as well. Okay? So, in a statement, following the incident, BYU Athletics released a statement on Twitter saying that they are extremely disheartened in the actions of the small number of fans during the match. We will not tolerate behavior of this kind, the statement continues. Specifically, the use of a racial slur at any of our athletic events is absolutely unacceptable, and BYU Athletics holds a zero tolerance approach to this behavior. Duke's game the following night against Rider was moved to Mountain View High School and was played without any fans in attendance. All because this person lied. right? All because this person lied. See, this is what you're facing today, folks. You're facing people that's just trying to look for any rhyme or reason to draw attention to themselves, to keep on perpetuating like this race thing is just a big old problem in America. I told y'all before, if you sit there and you put a certain type of stigma in people's brains, people will begin to go out and perpetuate those things. They will begin to go out and look for stuff that was not there. If you feel that America is a whole systemic racist area that you live in, you will find any rhyme or reason to see racism in stuff that's not even racist. If you are black and you've been told all your life that white people are racist and they out to get you and they always looking for you, they always being these Karens, they always trying to follow you in the grocery store, and they always looking to see what you're doing. If you walk into a store with that mindset, if any white person look at you, you're gonna be like, dang, what they looking at? You want to know how I know that? Because I did it. Because this stuff was taught to me. This stuff was said to me in the hood, in the projects. And then I go out there, go into a store. The store clerk just had, I'm the only one in the store, in a convenience store, a little gas station store. I'm walking around probably about to get me a soda or get me a candy bar or something like that. And the store clerk is watching me. And in my head, I'm thinking like, dang, why they watching me? I'm not about to steal nothing. No. It was because I was the only one in the store. Why wouldn't the clerk be looking at me? If another white person had walked into the store and walked around the store looking for something, I'm pretty sure the clerk who's there by themselves, bored to death, probably just watching. Because guess what? In that clerk's head, you don't know what they're thinking. They could be thinking, if you're looking for something, I can ask you, can I help you find something? Well, why you got to ask me if I'm helping find something? I'm over just trying to look. See what I'm saying? That's what they do with this crazy rhetoric. No, man, that's just the truth, man. That's really how they looking at us. You really think, of all things, a person that is so racist that they want to work in a convenience store near the ghetto in the hoods? I mean, my God, okay, y'all, y'all know I'm gonna be comedic with this, so I know I'm gonna actually throw some stereotypes like that. I don't care because I don't care about what folks say about me when it comes to things like that. So you telling me a white person, yeah, I want to go work in a convenience store near the projects in the ghetto because I want to go there and actually show them my white supremacy and show them that I hate these Negroes and I want to watch them when they come into the stores. I want to bother them when they come into the stores. In fact, if they come in and they stay too long, I'm going to wander with them. I'm going to walk around the store with my hands like this and watch them to make sure they're not going to steal nothing from the ghetto, rob 19 times a month convenience store here in the hood and in the ghetto. That's what I want to do. I want to watch these Negroes walk around so I can perpetuate my supremacy upon them. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Let me go get a job there. Sign me up for it. I'm doing it for the white power. Come on, man. The heck out of here. But I'm saying, by them putting those thoughts in our heads, it made us look for something that wasn't there. I go into the store, the clerk is watching me. And there have been times where the clerk flat out just said, can I help you find something? I'm like, no, I'm just kind of looking. You know? That's it. But according to the rhetoric that I was taught, it would have me think that the reason why he asked me if I'm looking for something because he think I'm going to steal something. No, he's asking because he see me wandering around the store looking, and if there's something I'm looking for, he can ask for it. Is my wife racist? You know how many times I went around my house with a face doing like this? My wife would go, what you looking for? And I would tell her, and she would say, oh, it's over on such and such. Y'all see what I'm saying? That's what they do. If you put this rhetoric and this mindset and this ideology in people's head and you repeat it to them long enough, they will find some rhyme or reason to try to sit there and pull out something that is racist when it's not. You would try to sit there and call a person prejudiced when they're not because you've been trained to see things that's not even there. That's how powerful it is. And that's how powerful, it's so powerful that you don't even know that you've even fallen for it. Guys, I go into stores, man, I'll say once I realize what that nonsense is all about and I put that stuff all out to the side, do you know how much freedom, black people, do you know how much freedom in your mind you would have to not make it seem like you're being paranoid that everybody that's white to make eye contact with you is not out to get you? Do you know how freeing it is to have that mindset now? I do not care. You are so caught up in what white people think about you. That's crazy. You are completely crazy to the extent to where you are going around in your mind, seeming like you want white people to validate you. I don't need no validation or affirmation from nobody, nor do I care because I know who I am within myself. I can go into any store, any clothing store, whatever like that. Guys, I have gone into expensive clothing stores with jogging pants and a t-shirt on. And as soon as I get into that store, they go, may I help you? And I'm like, oh, I'm just looking. They'd be like, well, are you looking for something specific? I'm like, well, actually, da 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 da. Well, sir, if you're looking for a certain type of shirts that's made of a certain type of fabric, I'm like, yeah, I like that type of fabric that it's fitting, but yet it's breathable. Oh, well, you're looking for da 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 da. You find it over there in that section right there. But I don't go in there and I'm looking at that and they're like, I wonder what he's doing in here. Let me watch him. Jonathan, hey, go ask that black Negro right there if he needs anything, Jonathan. Go ask him, Jonathan.
Rightio, sir. Hey, can I help you with something? Because people don't typically walk in our store and walk around in here, sir.
Come on now, that stuff does not happen. It does not happen, folks. I'm talking about on the level and the scale that they're making it out to be. That does not happen the way that they are perpetuating to be. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot read a person's mind, and I don't care what your mind is thinking about me, even if you are a racist person, period. And I walk into your place of business. I don't care what you think of me. I do not care. But I know what you care about. You care about my business, don't you? You care about the money I'm going to bring you. So you can have it in your head all day long. I don't like black people. But you're going to take my black people money, ain't you? I don't have to know that you're racist. I don't even care that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to put that much energy into wondering that every white person that I come across might have some racism in them. That's absolutely ludicrous. And you will be driven crazy off of something like that. And that's why in today's world, like this volleyball player right here is displaying, they look for things. They look for a white person can sit there and flat out just don't like you. Oh, because I'm black, because I'm black, because I'm black. No, it's not because you black. It's because they don't like you. I told you. Y'all, and I'm sorry, y'all. Those t-shirts sold out. I had t-shirts and I'll try to get them again. I had a t-shirt that said, I'm not a racist. I just don't like you. And I'm sorry, y'all. They sold out. They are completely gone. I'll try to get some more up there, but that's the truth. I'm not racist. I just don't like you. That's it. It has nothing to do with that. So you don't have to sit there and try to defend yourself on things like that, ladies and gentlemen. And I keep on telling y'all white folks, you need to stop doing that. But at the same time, what you all need to do is that if something is right, you stand up for what is right. You need to get into the mindset that you do not care what anybody has to say about you. The same way I am, I don't care what no one has to say about me. I'm not looking for no one's validation. I'm not looking for your confirmation. I'm not looking for your affirmation. I'm not looking for any justification for you for whatsoever for the being and thinking the way that I do. I don't do that. I don't care. Well, Ty, I don't like your channel anymore. I'm unsubscribing. Bye. I mean, I'm just like, hey, cool. That's your choice. That's your freedom. But I'm not about to chase after you. Hey, it used to be fun, you know. It used to be okay. But right now, in the current time that we got going on right now, there's still a mixture of fun and everything in there, right? And I told people all the time, the reason why this channel is taking the shift a little bit, you don't see, I mean, I still do reaction videos with music and all that, but it's taking the shift a little bit is because that's all the channel seemed to people only seem to be that was the main thing that dominated this channel. But people didn't even know that I did other videos. So now I got to actually make things be balanced off if y'all get my drift right there. So that's what I'm saying. I don't sit there and wonder if a person is sitting there, if a person is sitting there wondering about I'm not going to sit there and wonder that. I'm not going to sit there and wonder if a person is thinking, oh, is this racist or anything like that? Give me a second, y'all. Because I told y'all I get hot under these production lights. Woo. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say to some people is that when you got things like this going on within our society, understand it. A lot of these people are driven by the fact that they have bought into this rhetoric, they bought into this ideology, they bought into this narrative, and they will find something wrong, period. That's the issue that most people have in America today. You are trained not to think for yourself. You're trained to go along with how they want you to think. And should you think any way otherwise, they get upset with you. If you want to know a key, if something or someone is trying to control you, have your own opinion and watch what happens. Don't go along with everybody's way of doing things or saying things or being a particular way. Watch somebody's actions. I can sit there. Y'all know how many people I advise all the time throughout the week? You know how many mentees and mentorees and speaking engagements I've gone to where I advise people all the time? Do you know how many of those people don't take heed to what I'm saying to them? Do you know? And when they don't, do you know that I'm just like, okay, All right. Well, Ty, I don't think that you're right. I'm not going to go and do that. Okay. I'm not going to get mad at you. That's your freedom. That's your right. So what I'm saying that for is that I can sit there and tell you what I think is the best way for a lot of you to do with your lives and how to live your life and have a purpose in your life. You can agree with it and go and do it. You can disagree with it and don't go do it. But I'm not going to sit there and get pissed off at you because you're not deciding to do it the way I told you should do it. I'm advising you to the best I can with the truth and all that. But if you decide not to roll with that, then that's fine. But at the same time, whatever may come your way, since you're trying to do it a different way, whatever those consequences may be, understand that is a result of the decision that you made because you didn't want to take heed to righteousness and sound wisdom. Plain, it's that easy. It's really easy. So what I'm saying that for is this. All these people that y'all might see out there complaining about how oppressed we are, blah, 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 that is a result of them buying into a narrative and letting it become a part of their character, their attitudes, and their behavior. And they will go out and preach it and teach it as if it's truth without actually questioning it themselves and researching to see if it is really indeed true. How can you be people like LeBron James, Lizzo, I don't care who you are, any celebrities that's saying things like this? How can you be in a position like that, being multimillionaires, and you're talking oppression? You see what I'm saying? They don't y'all. I told y'all, a lot of y'all think because these people are celebrities that they are of a certain level of intelligence when they are not. If you are a performer, you might just be a performer. That does not equate you to being intelligent. It's the same notion I tell people. I've been in the medical field for over 20 some years. I've come across doctors that are, I'm just being real. I've come across doctors. They are not smarter than me. Now, if they are a heart surgeon and they know that heart out of the boom, 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 they can sit there all day long and they will whoop I admit that they would tear me to pieces. Talking about the heart, I know like the basics about the heart. But I'm not a heart surgeon. I couldn't even tell you the first thing about doing heart surgery. Nor can an orthopedic surgeon tell you the first thing about doing heart surgery. Nor can an anesthesiologist tell you the first thing about doing a knee replacement. They can't. That's not their specialty. But it does not mean that just because these people are considered to be doctors that they're smart in everything. So what I'm saying is that we end up giving them that power. We put that on them that because they are celebrity, they're well known, they're loved, they're in the news, they're on TV, they're everywhere. People are shouting and screaming for them. We end up thinking that just because they are these celebrities that they are somehow way more intelligent than us when they're not. Their job is to act, and they're acting, but it does not mean that these people are smart and use their brains. Can you believe it that I can sit there and tell you that we are oppressed while I'm sitting here a millionaire? How? I'm not saying it. I'm just saying, think of any black rich person at all, millionaire, billionaire, Dr. Dre, any rapper, any of these people that are black and are completely rich. How can you sit there and say that we are oppressed and you are a freaking millionaire or multimillionaire or a billionaire? Again, it's because they bought into the rhetoric. They listened to it. They read the brochure. They read the bullet points. Somebody told them this is what you say because this is what's going on with black people, and they go out there and say it. That's what kills me about a lot of folks that's like that. They're easily deceived and will go out there and speak that message, having no idea how am I oppressed and I'm sitting here rich. That's why I went viral. I'm like, how am I sitting here oppressed? I direct over people that look. I direct over all the people that work under me. Nobody except for a few people are brown, and when they brown, I'm talking about like they from India or the Philippines, dark, whatever like that. But I'm like, no. All these people that work under me look just like y'all in this room. So what, who's oppressed? You know what I'm saying? And so for me to say that on a scale like that, I'm not no multi-millionaire, but can you imagine me being a freaking multi-millionaire saying me as a black man, I'm oppressed and we got to fight, we got to struggle? Get the heck out of here, man. Come on. People got to use their brains, man. You have to use your brain. Stop falling for all this nonsense that's done nothing more than divide us. And if we know that it's dividing us most of the time, be done with it. Y'all just don't know. There have been multiple people that have right now have asked me to come onto their panel or come and speak at their engagement. I'm like, I'm not going to do that because I look you up and see what you all about. And if you all about just trying to do this thing, a lot of people just want to use my name. They want to use my social media influence. They want to use who I am and all these things that I've done. They want to use that to bring just tickets to them. I'm not stupid. Thank God that I learned this in the church world. I mean, being a minister, a lot of people would catch on to your preaching style and things of the sort, and they would invite you to come preach at their church. But what I found out is that there are some ministers. They want you to come there because they know that you're going to sell tickets. They know that you're going to generate a crowd of people. Being in athletics, I don't know if y'all know this. I'm just give y'all a rundown. Being in athletics, when I did track and field professionally, they would tell me, hey, Ty, you are invited to the Diamond League. You're invited to the Gold League. You're invited to the Golden Apple League. They would tell you all these different track events that you're invited to. And when you get invited, they already give you invitation money. They pay for your plane ticket. They pay for your hotel stay, all of that, right? But at the same time, there's prize money to be won if you place first through fifth in these events. But if people find out that a certain jumper or a certain athlete is going to be coming to that event, those ticket sales go up. Usain Bolt will automatically get $250,000 to go to a track meet because Usain Bolt is going to generate ticket sales. People are going to come there to see Usain Bolt run. That's what I'm saying. It's a reason why they do those things. Those ticket sales has everything to do with those ticket sales. Plain and simple. I don't know if a lot of people even knew that. So that's what I'm saying. So this money that you get, how is that oppressive? Because I'm pretty sure all these athletic clubs and everything, they're owned by white people. I'm just saying. It just becomes so mind-boggling that all these people that like to talk about this whole thing about how oppressive white people are and all this and that, but yet you playing for Duke University, which I know most likely is owned by white elite people or something like that. I don't know one college right now that is owned by black. Even the HBCUs, are they owned by black people? I'm just saying. You so oppressed, you continue to go to a white man's college. You continue to go play most likely, I don't know if the game of basketball, that's a white man's game. Black people is dominated by basketball is dominated by black people. So a white man created sports game is dominated by black people, but then we are oppressed. Y'all see what I'm saying? It's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. And we have to stop falling for it because all it's doing is an attempt to divide us. It's an attempt to divert us. It's an attempt to put our focus on each other, superficiality versus putting it on each other's heart and who we are as an individual, plain and simple. And who these people are that pull this nonsense off right here, I'm calling what they are. And they're liars. They're liars. If anybody on this team that lied and said that these people were calling this girl racial slurs, the police officer said he didn't hear it. If they got video and they pulled everything back and they can sit there and zoom in on the boy's mouth and he never once said the N-word and all of them claimed that he said this, that Duke team, whoever claimed that this boy said anything to them like anything whatsoever, they need to be punished, period. The coaches do. The volleyball team players do. They all need to be punished because they caused this boy to be suspended from games, sports games at that arena when he didn't even do anything according to the videos. And like I said, I would like to see some transparency. Let us, the viewing audience, see the video. And it's that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Again, appreciate you guys all being here. Hope you guys are all doing well. Don't forget to hit that like button. The like button is your way of recommending me to others. Don't forget that if you have a cell phone, you guys have contacts in your cell phone. If you think that there are people out there that think like you do and think like I do, and they will be benefiting from this channel, let them know about this channel. Tell them to subscribe to the channel, all right? Appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, if you would like to donate to the channel, that's how you can do it right there through the PayPal me. If you do, great. And if you don't, great, right? If you would like to join the channel, should I get shut down or something like that, you can join Patreon. Join Patreon right there. $1 to join. That is, if I get shut down or something like that, I will be to post videos to there. You can keep up with it, and that's another way of supporting it. It's $1 a month, $12 a year. If you would like to send gifts, things like that of the sort, all these different things you guys see back here, all these things back here were gifted to me, except for those pictures I took with different people I went to and spoke with in engagement. If you would like to send gifts, that's the P.O Box you can send it to right there. Listen to me. Out of all these things right here that I'm telling you all about, if you do, great. If you don't, great. If you would like to see merch and things like that on Teespring, look in the link in the description. I have not been able to get that up there right now to where y'all can see it like this. I'm working on it. I do all things by myself. I'm not one of those people that got all these different people that work for me and do these things for me. I do all this on my own. So check the link in the description if you want to see where t-shirts and all that stuff like that is sold at, yada, yada, peanut butter. But besides that, folks, appreciate y'all being in here. I'm going to move on to the next thing. And also, don't forget, you need to keep my channel. Keep my channel up. And like I said, every 20-some minutes, just go and hit that F5 button to refresh it to see if I posted any video, because I know that you guys are not being notified by it. All right. Appreciate you all. All right. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray Every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.